Combining technology, health information, genetics might be public health initiative of the future. So let's talk about some of the practical implications of using those things to predict diseases, illness, and possibly treatments. Predictive technology, to wear or not to wear. Our current technology can show us things like heart rate, oxygen levels, sleep patterns. In a recent case study, a story about Michael Snyder was highlighted in the New Scientist. Using the body sensors, Michael discovered a few different things. One was that his skin temperature was up, his blood oxygen level was down, and his heart rate was increased. All of these things fell in the abnormal range. Using the data from the predictive technology and the wearable technology, he was able to determine, before a diagnosis was concluded, that he did indeed have Lyme's disease. So part of his story had to do with the area in which he had traveled, which was out of the norm. He was going to Massachusetts and he had been bit by a tick. So there was a few things that indicated to him that he might have already been sick, but using the data from the wearable technology, he was able to confirm that before the diagnostic test came back with a positive. He was able to seek out treatment, and therefore it ended with a good result. So do I use the technology personally? Yes, I do. Here's some of my running info. So I use some of the wearable technology now to monitor my heart rate and manage my stress levels. I use a mindfulness app that reminds me to do some deep breathing exercises, which lowers my heart rate and hopefully reduces some of my stress. Would I upload any of my genetic information for predictive health outcomes? Probably not. I'll talk more about that later. So would I use this technology in my profession as a psychotherapist? I'm really not sure. When researching information on how this could impact mental health diagnoses, I found quite a few interesting things. One was an article published in the Herald Sun in Melbourne, Australia, and it was using wearable technology to look at things like variable heart rates, sleep patterns, and things like that to predict and diagnose depression. And the study showed that the technology was incredibly accurate. We're talking 82% accurate. Do I believe it? I don't know. Challenges and ethical considerations. What if the tech is wrong? It could stop users from seeing the big picture and possibly making choices about their health that they may not have made. It could increase stress, and it could also lead to treatments that don't work correctly. If the technology is correct, how would our social interactions with others change? Would it be cost effective? And would it divide rich and poor? Finally, like everything else, there are winners and losers. If the history of the development of technologies is any guide, innovations will have unforeseen, unintended consequences in the future. All new technologies create winners and losers, those who either reap the rewards and those who are disadvantaged from their development and use. Overall, public health may be impacted in a positive way. The tech needs to be available to everybody without financial implications. The data needs to be collected safely, and laws to protect companies from exploiting the users. Finally, some of the other possible uses for the technology is to reduce stress, improve cardiovascular health, remind us to exercise, reduce our chances of driving while intoxicated, and monitor things like blood glucose levels. As with anything, there's good and bad, but it's the unknown that fully prevents me from jumping on board with this type of tech.